And our big focus this hour are those huge ideas, bold startups, global investors. It is, of course, the first day of the Doers Summit at Dubai Digital Park in Silicon Oasis. And if you don't know what it is, it's 2 days of innovation, investment, big ideas. There's speakers from all around the world sharing their stories and also helping shape the future of things like finance, technology, entrepreneurship, and much more. If you'd like to know more, just head to doerssummit.com. Now, here's a stat that might not surprise you. Research from Northeastern University in Boston, Massachusetts, has shown that the average focused screen time for any one activity has dropped from about 2.5 minutes 20 years ago to just 40 seconds today. Now, are you still listening? Has your attention dropped? If it has, come back to me, please. But this does tell us something, doesn't it? It's in a world of, full of distractions, attention really is the new currency. And therefore, learning needs to keep up. And one of the companies that saw this shift early on is a company called Blinkist. If you don't know what it is, it's the app that takes non-fiction books and turns them into short, digestible insights that you can read or listen to, get this, in 15 minutes. I said to Brandy on the Business Breakfast, I could have really done with this app during my literature degree in the early 2000s. It would have helped me not have to read the likes of Paradise Lost or the works of Shakespeare over a weekend. But it has been downloaded, this app, by millions and millions of people from around the world. And it really helped kickstart a global movement around something that's called bite-sized learning. Now, joining me now to discuss this is the founder of Blinkist. He is the co-founder, Niklas Jansen, and he also now helps fund early stage startups across Europe through his venture firm Interface Capital. Hello, Niklas. Thanks so much for joining me on the agenda today.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Oh, it's great to have you. I am absolutely fascinated by this app. Like I said, I wish I knew about it 20 years ago, actually probably even more than that now. Why do you think that this sort of short form learning has become so popular, like your app Blinkist offers?
Well, I think you already said it. There are a couple of things that have changed over the last 10, 15 years, and there are mainly the two trends that we try to focus on. One is that people started reading on their smartphones. So instead of sitting on your couch and reading a book or a newspaper back to back, our reading shifted towards these moments where you're waiting in line or you just have to kill 2 or 3 minutes. And there was the one trend, and the other trend is that what you mentioned is the attention spans of humans have shrunk quite a lot. So it's very hard for us to focus on something for more than 2 or 3 minutes. And therefore, we try to create a format where we can still get all this information and important knowledge from books into a format that you can still absorb, so that people still have access to great ideas, even if the way they consume content and the days have changed dramatically over the last 10, 15 years.
And if people want to use Blinkist, do you have all the books on there already, or do you have to say, I want to read this book, please condense it for me?
Well, I think over the years, we have built up quite a catalog. Maybe what's important is that we have always been more focused on nonfiction books. So your your degree, probably still have to read Shakespeare yourself.
No.
We always felt that for for literature, it's not the best thing to summarize a book, because there's so much more. There's language, there's story, and there's a lot of value in reading a full book. For nonfiction, there's still value in reading a full book, and Blinkist was never meant to replace books, but it's more, okay, there are a lot of information and you sometimes want quick access to this information. So to answer your question, I think now we have a couple of thousand books on the platform. And when you look for a specific nonfiction book, like a bestseller or one of the classics, it should be there. But you can also request the book, and then we try to publish it as soon as possible.
We've just had a message in from Sunil saying Blinkist is a good app. So you have a fan there. I'm sure there's many here too. I'd like to find out from you, Niklas, now, how do you think AI is changing, how we learn and consume content? Because surely Blinkist is sort of working off an AI algorithm, is it?
Yeah. Well, that's not really. It's all done by humans. There is obviously AI we use today to augment the process, to improve and be more productive. But the core work, the reading and summarization, is still done by humans. And that was the thing we did when we started 2012, and it's still the way that it's done today. And what's interesting is that our customers actually value the human part here. So they don't fully trust AI to summarize the book, because there's also a lot of judgment that you have to exercise when you try to summarize a book. And most people prefer that other humans do that for them and not AI.
That is amazing. I honestly thought you would be putting it into a large language model, saying, please
No.
summarize this book for me on planets or whatever. And it did it for you. The fact you have, a whole little workshop of people summarizing these books for you makes it even more appealing. You obviously grew this app on a global scale. What were the biggest challenges for you in doing that?
Well, I think, so we started quite early, or like in 2012. There was the time of like iPhone, maybe 3GS or iPhone 4. We had like this idea that we're just going to build an app and then millions of people are going to download it. What I underestimated how long it takes for new technologies to be adopted, for new behaviors to be adopted. So the first years were quite tough. We kind of had to figure out basically the main job was to survive as a company. And then in 2015, when more and more the smartphone adoption grew, people were downloading apps and were more willing to pay for digital content, then it started growing. But that's kind of the usual struggles, right? You have an idea, maybe the timing was a little bit off. So we got lucky that we got so far. And then when the trends came, or when people started shifting and paying for apps, then we were one of the few that offered bite-sized and audio content back in the days. And beyond that, it's building the product, growing the team, raising money from investors, and then scaling internationally. We're based in Berlin. We're always based in Berlin, and at the same time, Blinkist is a very global brand. So one of the challenges was how to grow the brand globally, especially in the US, while having the team mainly located in Europe. But yeah, these were kind of challenges. I think most startups face these challenges. There was nothing too specific about that, I would say.
No, when you have grown and you are now a successful app. So congratulations to that, Niklas. It's been great to talk to you. I hope you enjoy the Doers Summit. I know you're one of the speakers there. I'm sure it'll be a very insightful session. That was the voice there of Niklas Jansen. He co-founded Blinkist, obviously that app that takes non-fiction books and turns them into short, digestible insights that you can read or listen to in about 15 minutes. And now he funds early stage startups across Europe through his venture firm Interface Capital.